The last day of October. Claire Hensley used to love the fall. The smell of rain, the way the trees turned that deep golden color, and the crunch of leaves under her boots. Autumn always felt safe to her, familiar, like the world was slowing down just enough to breathe. Maple Ridge was a quiet town in Pennsylvania. Nothing ever happened there. People said that like it was a bad thing, but Claire liked the quiet. She liked her routine. She worked weekends at a bakery, fed the neighbor's cat when they were out of town, and walked to school every morning with Jordan Lou, who lived 2 doors down. Claire and Jordan had been best friends since kindergarten. He was the quiet type, always had his camera with him, always noticed things other people didn't, like when she'd been having a rough day or when her smile didn't quite reach her eyes. He never made a big deal out of it. He'd just offer her his extra granola bar or show her a dumb picture of their math teacher blinking mid-sentence. Claire always laughed. Jordan had a way of making her feel seen, even when she didn't want to be. Everyone thought they were a couple, but they weren't. Not really. They just had that kind of closeness that doesn't need a label. At least, that's what Claire used to think. On the morning of October 31st, Claire was running late. Her mom had forgotten to fill up the car, and by the time they found a gas station with an open pump, the school day had already started. Claire felt annoyed at first, tapping her foot and checking her phone for messages. One came in from Jordan, right around 7:52 a.m. "Bring your umbrella. Feels like rain." That was it. No emojis, no punctuation. Typical Jordan. Claire smiled at the text and replied, "Thanks, weirdo," and then the signal cut out. She didn't know that would be the last thing she ever sent him. When they pulled up to school around 8:10, flashing lights and police tape blocked the entrance. Her mom slammed the brakes. A teacher she didn't recognize came sprinting from the front lot, waving people back, shouting something Claire couldn't hear. They sat in the car in silence, watching kids run out of the building, some crying, some bleeding. Someone pounded on their window and told them to leave. Just go now. The shooting lasted 12 minutes. The boy who did it was a sophomore. His name was Matt, but everyone would forget that. He carried a stolen rifle into the science hallway and started firing at random. Jordan was shot protecting someone else, a girl named Cassidy who was pinned against the lockers, frozen in place. He stepped in front of her. He didn't make it. Claire never made it inside. Her mom kept saying over and over, "Thank God we were late." But Claire didn't feel lucky. She felt like the world had cracked open and swallowed her whole. For weeks afterward, she barely spoke. Reporters showed up at their front lawn. People sent flowers. The school held a candlelight vigil. Jordan's picture was everywhere, on posters, on news segments, on the front page of the newspaper. They called him a hero. But Claire didn't want a hero. She wanted her friend back. The worst part was, no one really knew how close they were. To everyone else, they were just classmates, neighbors. But to Claire, Jordan was her person. The one who knew her favorite snack when she was sad. The one who could tell when she was faking a smile. The one who always walked on the side of the street closest to traffic, like she needed protecting. She didn't go to the funeral. She couldn't. She sat in her room with the curtains drawn, wearing the hoodie Jordan had let her borrow 3 weeks before and never took back. She never washed it. She just held on to it like it might somehow keep him close. Eventually, people stopped texting. Teachers stopped reaching out. Her parents suggested therapy, and she went once or twice, but the words felt heavy in her mouth, like she couldn't force them out without choking. Claire got her GED in private and took a job at the gas station on Route 11. She worked nights, mostly. It was quiet there. She could sit behind the counter and read or stare out at the empty road, pretending none of it had happened. One night, Cassidy walked in. Claire recognized her instantly, even though they'd never talked. Her face was thinner now, eyes darker, like someone who had cried all their tears and didn't have any left. They stood across from each other, neither speaking for a long time. Then Cassidy said, quietly, "He died saving me." Claire nodded. Her throat was tight. Cassidy looked down at the counter and whispered, "He loved you, you know." And then she left. Claire didn't sleep that night. She thought about every conversation they'd had, every smile, every small moment she had brushed off as just friendship. But deep down, she had known. She just never said it back. She thought they had time. A week later, Jordan's mom knocked on her door. She had found a box under his bed labeled October. Inside were photos, dozens of them, all of Claire, candid ones, laughing at a joke, walking with her earbuds in, holding a book under her arm. Jordan had taken them all, probably when she wasn't paying attention. At the bottom of the box was a letter. "Claire, I don't know if I'll ever send this. Maybe it's dumb. But in case I chicken out, just know I've loved you since second grade, when you told me aliens were real and wore that ridiculous orange shirt with jelly stains. I think we're meant to leave this place together. But even if you go without me, I hope you go." Claire read it over and over. Each time, it hit a little differently. She wasn't sure what hurt more, that he never got to say it out loud, or that she never did either. That winter, she applied to a small community college 2 states away. She didn't tell anyone until she was already packed. She left the day before the anniversary, hoping distance might soften the ache. She didn't visit Jordan's grave. She couldn't. But she wore the silver locket he'd given her for her 16th birthday every single day, even after the chain turned green, even after it started to rust. Years passed. Claire became a teacher, not because it was her dream, but because she wanted to be there. She wanted to be someone who could lock the doors fast if it ever happened again. Someone who understood the silence that follows after gunshots. Someone who knew how to keep the students safe. Every October 31st, she took a long walk, sometimes in the woods, sometimes down an unfamiliar street, always with the letter in her pocket, not because she wanted to remember the tragedy, but because she never wanted to forget the love that came before it.